There are places on this planet where the light of the sun has never touched, places where time is not measured in hours or minutes, but in the slow accumulation of dust and the gradual decay of iron. We are currently descending into one of those places 2,200 meters beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. The pressure here is immense, enough to crush a modern automobile as easily as an empty aluminum can. The temperature is perpetually locked in a near-freezing chill. Darkness here is not simply the absence of light, it is a physical entity, thick, heavy, and absolute. But today we bring a torch to this abyss. The high-intensity beams of our submersible cut through the eternal night that has reigned here for over a century and a half, illuminating the dense marine snow that falls endlessly like a silent winter storm. And there it is, rising from the murky floor of the ocean, a massive looming shadow begins to take shape. This is not merely a pile of scrap metal, it is the SS Central America, the ship of gold, the graveyard of interrupted American dreams. It lies there, broken and silent, yet it screams with stories that have never been fully told. In 1857, this vessel was the pride of steam engineering, a symbol of human progress. It carried 578 souls, and perhaps even more significantly for history, it carried the lifeblood of the American economy, 13 tons of pure gold from the California rush. But then, history intervened in the form of a catastrophic hurricane that swallowed it whole. Today, you and I are intruders. We are trespassing in a tomb. We must move quietly. We must breathe softly, for what we are about to see is not just treasure, but the suspended animation of a tragedy. Look closely at the hull. These are the ribs of the ship, crafted from the sturdiest American oak, now softened by the ocean and time until they resemble a waterlogged sponge. Ghostly white branches of deep-sea coral, Lophelia pertusa, sprout from the blackened wood like the skeletal fingers of the deep, claiming this man-made structure as part of the natural world. We are drifting into the interior now, through a wound in the ship's side. We must be careful not to let the thrust of our engines disturb the silt, for the dust here is the dust of history itself. There, resting on the gray mud, lies a witness to the panic of that final day. It is a leather trunk. Despite the crushing pressure and the passage of 160 years, the leather has not disintegrated. It has shrunk, wrinkling like the skin of a centenarian, but the form remains. What lies inside? Silk dresses purchased for a reunion in New York? Or perhaps hastily written love letters from the gold fields of California, promising a fortune that would never arrive? The owner of this trunk may have been a young man seeking adventure or a father desperate to provide for his family. Now his luggage has reached its final destination, not a bustling port, but the bottom of the world. A bright orange spider crab crawls slowly across the rusted lock, indifferent to the tragedy beneath its claws. To this creature, a fortune in human memories is simply a rock upon which to rest. Let your eyes adjust to the gloom and focus on the debris field. A glass bottle, emerald green and miraculously unbroken, stands half buried in the sediment. The cork is still in place, sealing inside it the air of 1857. Beside it lies something heartbreakingly domestic, a hairbrush. The bristles dissolved into the ocean long ago, leaving only the tarnished silver frame. Imagine the woman who stood before a mirror on that fateful morning, brushing her hair, hoping the storm would pass, unaware that it was the last simple act of vanity she would ever perform. And there, a single man's boot. It retains the shape of the foot that once wore it, coated in mud like a plaster cast of a life cut short. Did its owner run? Did he struggle? Or did he accept his fate as the waves closed in? But let us be honest with ourselves. The reason we and the entire world are captivated by the shipwreck is not just the poignant remnants of daily life. We are approaching the purser's office, the heart of the ship's cargo. Prepare yourself. In a world defined by the gray of silt and the black of rot, a sudden, unnatural brilliance assaults the senses. It is a light that does not fade, a metal that does not corrode, defying the laws of chemistry and time. It is gold. This is not just a single bar. It is a river of wealth. Look at that ingot. The stamped letters Kellogg and Humbert are as sharp and clear as the day they were minted. It sits heavy and proud in the muck. In 1857, that single bar could have purchased a farm, a new life, a high status in society. Men killed for this. Men slaved in dark, dangerous mines for this. And now it lies here, utterly ownerless. Leaving the cold indifference of the field of gold, we find artifacts that speak of the heart. A small wooden box has collapsed, revealing the glint of a gold chain. A ruby, deep in red, catches the light of our ROV, glowing like a drop of fresh blood in the pale water. Who bought this? Was it a husband's gift to a waiting wife? A father's present for a daughter he would never see again? It is tangled now in a branch of coral, a bizarre marriage between luxury and the wild ocean. Nearby, a man's gold ring lies half buried. Zoom in. There are initials engraved on the inside band, worn but visible. This ring once absorbed the warmth of a living hand. Now it is as cold as the abyss. Beside it, a crystal glass, broken in two. Why is it here? Perhaps in the final moments, as the ship lurched, someone dropped it. Crystal is fragile, gold is durable, but under the pressure of 2 kilometers of water, they share the same fate: oblivion. We see rusted Colt revolvers, the law of the Wild West, now rendered useless lumps of iron. In the face of the ocean's wrath, human power and weaponry mean nothing. As our camera glides through the ruined corridors and vanished staircases, consider the science of this preservation. The SS Central America is a time capsule. The mud at this depth is a perfect preservative. In this oxygen-starved environment, biological decay slows to a crawl. We see newspapers that are pulped but still bear legible headlines. We see jars of medicine and pairs of spectacles. These ordinary objects become sacred here, for they are the final footprints of existence. Observe the rusticles, those icicle-like formations of rust dripping from the ironwork. They are alive, communities of bacteria slowly consuming the ship, atom by atom. It is a slow-motion feast that will eventually erase the vessel entirely, leaving only the gold and the glass behind. We must also remember the specific lives lost here. Among the passengers were Ansel and Adeline Easton, a wealthy newlywed couple returning from their honeymoon. They survived the sinking, but their luggage, filled with the memories of their start in life, lies somewhere in this debris field. When we look at a trunk, we are potentially looking at the ghost of their happiness. We think of Captain Herndon, a man of honor who ensured the women and children were boarded onto the lifeboats first. History tells us he was last seen standing by the wheelhouse, smoking a cigar, calm amidst the chaos, choosing to go down with his command. The silence we hear now is the counterweight to the cacophony of that night. The screaming wind, the tearing metal, and the roar of the waves. Our time here is running out. The batteries of our submersible are draining, and the link to the surface is a fragile thread. We cannot stay in this world of ghosts forever. Take one last look at the panorama of the wreck. Under the fading light of our lamps, the SS Central America looks like a cursed fairy tale castle, dusted with the falling snow of the deep. We will take with us images and perhaps salvage some artifacts for history, but we will leave the peace of the grave undisturbed. The gold can be recovered, melted down and sold, but the dreams, the smiles, and the terror of 1857 will remain here, locked in the dark. As we begin our ascent, leaving the pressure behind and rising toward the sun, remember the darkness we leave below. Remember that in the deepest silence of the ocean, the ship of gold still sleeps, a permanent monument to the fragility of life and the enduring, haunting power of memory. The ship recedes into the gloom, the lights fade, only the ocean remains, vast, ancient, and silent.